Hello everybody. Today, I will be playing Entry Point Freelancer's Cut and completing the Lakehouse on Legend difficulty on a fresh character with a fresh loadout. And like you've seen in the other 4 videos in the series, we will again be taking in the basic pistol with the low tier suppressor, a shank made from a toothbrush, a battery powered hand drill, and a Xiaomi Pad 7 tablet. While I definitely needed training perks for this mission, I won't be taking any skills in because the challenge said so. I started at the North Forest spawn point and immediately headed to the objective. This mission has a 15-minute timer for stealth. If I take too long, stealth will break due to the Steel Cove raid. Luckily on this attempt, the door alarm power boxes are placed in very convenient spots, allowing me to disable them quickly. I also drilled open this vent since this would be my way into the basement. Another gimmick about this mission is that it doesn't have any disguises to use, meaning I had to sneak around in my very visible floral shirt. Not a huge problem though, as the operatives here clearly didn't have 20/20 vision. After I dealt with the power boxes, I broke into the north building stairwell and headed up. I was almost spotted by this operative who I don't quite know the name of yet. I continued through and found the operations room. Inside, I found the armory door passcode along with intel about their operations, in which I took pictures for Rose and Ren to review. While I was heading out, the operative from before decided it was his best time to enter the room. Because of that, I had to hide behind the whiteboard. Good thing I didn't breathe too loud for him to hear me. Rose also finished reviewing the intel. She managed to reveal some names and roles of the operatives on site. Now that I finished exploring the north building, it was time for me to head to the south building. I entered from the center on the first floor and carefully navigated, as I knew there was always one operative who patrols this floor. Again, I was almost spotted, but my stealth abilities are just superb. Further into the building, I found the armory. I used the code I found from before and entered it without anyone noticing. This room has a lot of equipment useful to the mission. I took the thermite as I needed it to enter the basement with. I also took one of their suppressors, as theirs is a Lynx suppressor which is better at keeping noise than my original budget suppressor. Once done, I headed up to the second floor. There, I found the photo room and a hackable laptop inside. Searching around revealed more names of the operatives along with their headshot photographs so I could know what they looked like. On the same floor, I also found an Ethernet cable which would prove itself useful later on. With the thermite acquired from before, I could now head to the vents I drilled earlier and apply thermite on the basement grates. Surprisingly, despite how loud the thermite was, no one outside heard a thing. My guess is they probably trained their firearm capabilities without ear protection and damaged their hearing as a whole. In the basement, I found the server room that I needed to break into. Sadly, it was locked behind a special keycard. However, a note there revealed that the keycard holder for this door was codenamed Main. She's the guard who patrols the east side of the exterior, the lake side of the house. I sneaked outside the basement using the main door and headed to the lake. Thanks to timing, Main was already there in a very isolated spot. I switched off her radio and then proceeded to shoot her in the face. I then searched her body for the keycard I needed and ran back to the basement via the vent. Back inside, I used the keycard and got myself into the server room successfully. With the Ethernet cable I grabbed a while ago, I connected the server to the internet and let my team handle the files. After a bit of waiting, they managed to put all important files on one server for me to take. I put the server inside my backpack and started moving to the boat for exfiltration. Ren warned me that Steel Cove would be there in a minute, but because I moved hastily, they never really had a chance. At last, I secured the server into the boat and rode off into the sunset like nothing happened. Like, comment, and subscribe. In the next video, I'll be showing off all the failed attempts so you can feel how painful it was to do this.